Hello everyone and welcome back to another very exciting chess game by Mikhail Tal. So in this chess game, Tal had the white pieces and his opponent was Nigel Short. So Nigel Short was the first ever chess grandmaster from England who played a World Chess Championship match against Garry Kasparov, but he lost. So let's see what happened in this chess game. So Nigel Short was one of the leading chess players at the time, one of the highest rated chess players. So this chess game was played in 1987. So let's see what happened. Mikhail Tal starts the game with e4 and we have e6, d4, d5, and this is the French defense, knight to d2, c5, and this is the Tarrasch variation. So exchanging the pieces, pinning the knight, capturing, and then knight to b3, bishop goes back and white castled. Developing the piece, so castling, c3, a6, bishop to d3, bishop to c7, bishop to c2, and then you can see that the queen and the bishop is aiming on h7. In this position, a safe move would be g6, and this is defending very well. But in this position, Nigel Short is taking a risk against Mikhail Tal. And is this playing with fire? So he played queen to d6. But then white has g4. And if moving the knight, then capturing on h7, and that is going to be checkmate. So black can't move the knight, and basically black is losing a piece in this position. So we have g6, and then this was the idea of Nigel Short. So he has some compensation. And Mikhail Tal accepted the sacrifice, and then bishop takes on f5, queen to d2, and bishop takes on h3. So you can see that black has some compensation. Also attacking the rook. So Tal played queen to h6 and queen to d7. So in this position, attacking the bishop is also a possibility. Capturing the bishop is also possible. Not right now, but actually knight to g5 is also on the cards in this position. So, but not right now because of queen to h2. So maybe if bishop takes rook, then king takes bishop, and then knight to g5 is possible. And that is looking very dangerous. So we have queen to d7 by Nigel Short, and he's threatening checkmate. So he wrecked the pawn cover, he destroyed the pawn cover in front of the king. And now he's going for the throat, so attacking on g4, check, and king to h1, and then queen to g2 is going to be checkmate. So Tal played queen to h4, defending that. And then Nigel Short captured the rook. So if knight to g5, then we have check and then checkmate, and white is getting checkmated. So queen to d7 and then queen to h4, and simply capturing the rook. King takes on f1, and you can see that black has some compensation after sacrificing the piece. So white has two minor pieces, but black has the exchange and plus two extra pawns. So knight in is also possible, but if knight in, black can push the pawn and defend with the queen. So it is not clear. Knight to e5, knight in, rook over, bishop to f4, knight to c4, knight to c5. So the position is for about equalish. Knight back, repositioning the knight, knight takes on f4, knight takes on b2. And before forgetting, this was actually a blitz chess game. So Short had to be careful against Mikhail Tal, of course. So Tal was such a dangerous chess player. He was also very tricky, especially in speed chess games. So knight in by Mikhail Tal. Look at this move, sacrificing the piece. And he made a decently deep calculation. But we have check, and let's see what happens. You can see that Tal is also targeting on f6. And if capturing the knight, we have check, and then check, and knight in, and how to defend the checkmate threat. Black can sacrifice the queen and prolong the game, but that's winning for white. So in this position, if king to f8, then we have check, king to g8, and then check. And basically we have this simple checkmating pattern, as you can see. And if, of course, I mean, king to h8 is out of questions. If king to f8, then we have check. And let's not go here. As you can see, that is losing. To bishop to h7. So if king to e7, and this is also getting checkmated if black doesn't give up the queen. So king to d8, check. And if king up to d7, queen to d6, checkmate. So king to c7, checkmate. Okay, so you can see that this was the idea of Mikhail Tal when he decided to sacrifice his knight. What a move. So we have check, and you can take the knight because of all the variations that we see. So this is why we have this defensive move, and the knight is pinned. So you can take, but we have check. And you can see that if king goes up, then we can capture the rook with check, and that is not good for black. For surviving, short is capturing the knight. And then queen takes on c3, and the knight is pinned again. But placing the rook in the semi-open file, and Tal is actually, he is planning to sacrifice the rook. Basically, rook takes on h7 is his idea. We have rook to f8. So if a5, then rook takes on h7. So this was the idea of Tal, and threatening checkmate. So king takes, check, and if king goes up, basically this is just simply getting checkmated. So if king goes back, then bishop takes, and the engine told me that there is no defense against queen to h7. The only defense which is going to prolong the game is queen to c7. So we have rook over, and it is white to move. Now this is an important critical moment of this game. What would you do? And only for the records, right now Nigel Short has 4 extra pawns against Mikhail Tal's piece. So Mikhail Tal has one extra piece, which is the bishop, and Short has 4 extra pawns. So that's enough compensation, but white has a winning move in this position. So can you guess actually the 2 important winning moves, which is forced, and basically black is losing. So what would you do if you had the white pieces? So I think this is an intermediate level chess problem. So you can guess the next 2 winning moves for white, for Mikhail Tal. So you have to guess the first one and the second one. So why the first move has any connections with the second move? Can you see the reason after evaluating this position? So what would you do if you had the white pieces? Let me give you 5 seconds. If you need, you can also pause the video. So rook to h3 is the move. Okay, I hope you have seen this move. So deflecting the queen, and now what is the move? Why did Mikhail Tal play it? Rook to h3. Well, he played rook to h3 to free his knight, because in this position, if he would move the knight, then of course queen takes queen. But after, I mean, not right now, this is black's move, white's move. Anyway, if moving the knight right now, then queen takes queen. But after rook to h3, deflecting the queen, and then Tal played knight to f5, and Nigel Short resigned. Another sacrifice attempt by Mikhail Tal, another aggressive, very beautiful chess game by Tal. And there is no sensible defense against queen to g7 or knight to e7, checkmate. So if capturing the knight, then check, only defense and getting checkmated. And if queen takes bishop, then we have checkmate. Or knight to h6 or knight to e7, checkmate. So okay, what do you think about this chess game? This was the final move of this chess game. So this looked like a knockout, a simple heavyweight knockout punch in a boxing contest. So, okay, I hope you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye-bye.